Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods Expert Remastered. So, today we're going to go ahead and jump into what we're going to be working on. I have done a little bit with bees and a bit more automation and cable running and all that fun stuff. We pretty much have access to this most everywhere in the base now, because I did add some range upgrades into that and whatnot. But anyways, oh, and I also added a 64K storage disk, and I went ahead and automated that whole process. Because I actually logged on and was out of storage the other day. Because I had forgotten to put a void upgrade on the onions and bell peppers. So, yeah. Oh, and ender pearls are now automatically running. So, I don't have a whole lot in here. I just ordered a bunch of vibrant alloys. So, anyways, today we are going to be working on environmental tech. We're going to be starting down that road. And I went ahead and made one of these. It's a digital guide, work in progress. And this has all the information that we need. I mainly got it because I wanted to double check on the dimensions that we needed. So if we want to go all the way to a tier 4, we need an 11 by 7 by 11 area. So I wanted to start working on this. A lot of this I haven't added because the roof is going to have to get raised a bit. But I did start plotting out a little area for us to set up our void resource and ore miners. However, before we do that, I've been having a big issue with sand. I don't have a lot of it, 22. I don't want to break down cobblestone for sand. I've been using a lot of glass, also silicon, so sand has somewhat become an issue. And so what I'm thinking that we are going to do, if you didn't see my Sprout series or the tutorial video I did on setting this up, we're going to do a setup that I used in that. Slightly different because it's going to be semi-automated because it's so powerful you really don't need it automated. In all honesty, there's not a whole lot of point in fully automating it, I don't think, in this pack, because I don't need that much sand. I just need a bit. Honestly, this is going to be plenty powerful. So what I want to do is, let me actually get a little bit of hardened stone. We're going to put that down right there. And then let's go ahead and set down a hopper. It doesn't matter what direction that this is facing, because I'm actually going to plug it up with item conduits to pull out from this. And then let's go ahead and stick ourselves down just a torch right there. And then I want to take this piston and I want to set it up right there facing down. And then let's get ourselves a lever, and we'll just put that down right there and extend our piston. So in this sense, we're going to have a little bit of control over when this thing runs, because I don't really need it to run all the time. Of course, you could have it set up for redstone control to your system, so if your drawer is below such and such full, then, you know, toggle on off, that kind of thing, but I'm not actually that worried about it. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves just some, I don't know, glass covers type stuff. Let's go with the thickened glass, because I actually quite like that. And then, do I happen to have a saw in here? I do. So can I go ahead and cut this stuff down? So there's some nice little covers. I just want kind of like a nice little panel set up right here. And then let's get this stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and just kind of put these panels out. Okay, and then I need 2 buckets of liquid. One of these that I need is going to be lava. The other one is starlight, liquid starlight. Oh, and this little area back here is all plugged up to our system now, so lava feeds in from that. So all of our IC2 stuff is like pretty much full all the time, like on power and stuff. Okay, and then what I want to do is we're just going to take and put our lava here. And we're going to take and put our liquid starlight right there. Okay, and then all we got to do is pull the lever and, oh, the torch needs to be 1 down, actually. Then we'll put the hopper beneath that. Okay, so now if we pull the lever, there we go, that's what happens. Now, it breaks stuff so fast. It's such a powerful sand generator. You know, in Sprout we had it set up, and actually in that tutorial video we had it set up to a degree that was just, it was over the top. It really was. So if we were to pull off our ring of magnetization and hit that, oh, you know what? It's pretty much as fast as the hopper can collect it, it's going to get it. So it's crazy fast. In addition to producing sand, there is a chance that it's going to produce the, this right here, the aquamarine shell. There is a fairly good chance it's going to produce that in addition. So we will have that building up as well, which will kind of cover up any aquamarine that we need. Chances are, I don't know if this can be produced. I'm not for sure if it can be produced by the void miner or not, but yeah, see, that's the only issue at the moment is that. I mean, I guess I could just remove that because it's not like it's going to go anywhere. And then whenever we hit the lever, you know, just break that. It's not really a big deal. I mean, I could always put a breaker here, so, oh man, we could break the sand automatically, but I think that's probably good. Because all I gotta do is turn this on, leave it running for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and we're gonna have a drawer filled. So, let's go ahead and pop down here, and what I want to do is, over here, we should be able to find our connection to this. Okay, right there is the hopper that we need to connect to. So let's go ahead and run this stuff back over. And then in addition, I wouldn't mind having some conduit speed upgrades. So that's why I made all those pistons. I didn't quite need that many. I just went ahead and made a stack, so we've got them. 6 for right now. Honestly, that might be kind of enough. We'll see. We'll see how it performs, but... And then we're just going to plug that into the hopper, and we're going to say conduit speed upgrades, extract is always active, and there we go. It's going to start emptying out all that sand for us. And it's going to be going into our system. So now what I can do is just hit this. And there we go. Now, if we do get, which inevitably we will get some shell. So I'm going to leave this open for right now, just so that whenever the shell does come in, I can easily find it, grab it, and set up a space in a drawer for that. Because I'm actually kind of running out of space in the drawers. I don't think I have any space at the moment, but... oh, I do have 2. Okay. Then if we take a look, we can see that sand is going up at a fairly fast rate. So, that's good. Normally, originally I was actually thinking about doing a cobble gen. But I don't know if I'm going to worry about it because... I mean, realistically, I don't think we really need one at this point in the pack. Because there's just not the high super cost like, say, something like Divine Journey has, where I feel like we need something like that. So I think I'm just going to have everything set up as patterns. So we'll set up a pattern that makes glass with the sand. I just haven't done that yet because we didn't really have all that much sand. Now we've got all that much sand. Okay, but anyways, we'll let that run for a little bit, build ourselves up on sand. Honestly, after that runs for a few minutes, we're probably never going to need sand again within the entirety of the series, I don't think. It's pretty powerful. I've been meaning to set that up for a while, but I wanted to do it on camera, and I kept forgetting to. Okay, so anyways, on to environmental tech. So, digital guide. This thing right here, let me go put this bee stuff up that came through the system earlier. I just realized something. It's pumping it up into that area. Yeah, I need to change this over. It needs to extract on red, not on green. Whoops. Okay, extract on red. Because what's happening is it's getting sent up into the chest that's up there. It was going up into the bee chest because it was going in on green, getting deposited into the chest, and then getting sent out. So my bee stuff wasn't going anywhere. Which all of this stuff is going to be gone before long. We're going to use a Tinker Smeltery for that. Well, for the gold, not for the osmium. But anyways, we'll deal with that later. I mean, right now I've got a ton of gold in here. Just from dumping it manually into the arc furnace. So, okay, but anyways, if we look at the digital guide, we're going to have to start with the Void Resource Miner because the Void Ore Miner requires, I think it's mica, right? Oh, maybe it doesn't. That's fine. I still want the Void Resource Miner. The thing's quite handy. So I think we're going to start with that one. So let's go ahead and pull up Environmental Tech. And we are going to want to get ourselves Void Resource Miner, We're going to need some clear lenses. This is clear glass, which is enriched sand. So I'm going to go ahead and just get... Let's go ahead and get a stack of this stuff, because we're going to need quite a bit of it. Actually, we've got enough quartz. Let's go ahead, and now we have enough sand as well. Let's go ahead and get 2 stacks of that. I'm not going to worry too much about automating it, because it's not something that we're going to be using in bulk. But we will need a little bit of it. And we'll go ahead and get that stuff smelting up. And then the gold, I went ahead and made that. I think I might still have some in here. Yeah, the white gold was finishing up. Thought I had a little bit left in there. Got a bunch of that stuff made, though. I went ahead and made a lot of that stuff. Just because it just makes it easier. Alright, so the green gold, let's go ahead and convert that over. 2, 3, 4. We'll start with 4. And I'm making 4 because I only have 4 molten cores at the moment. I need to go out and farm up more of those. Okay, so anyways, laser core, touchstone of Midas. This is what we're going to need. It's 4 blocks of gold, then these 3, the rose gold, the white gold, the green gold, and then we're going to need enriched gold, which is actually fairly easy to make. I just need to make enriched gold dust, which is made with a calculator obsidian dust plus gold. So let me go ahead and get that stuff, which we have plenty of calculators. I just need to charge, well, that one's actually charged up. And let me go ahead and order a stack of obsidian dust. And all we gotta do is add that stuff together, and we get our enriched gold. I think we've actually gotten that stuff before, if I recall correctly. And then I just have to smelt it, of course. So there's a stack of enriched gold. Sounds good. And let's go ahead and set that like that, so we can start producing some enriched gold for us. Yeah, see, there we go. We got some aquamarine shell that's built up in there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab just a little bit of that, and we'll stick it into a drawer. I'm not going to worry about putting upgrades and stuff in there, because I'm going to be turning that off soon, because we already have almost 4,000 sand. Like, it's crazy fast. I had like 22 whenever we started. It is a monster as far as making sand goes. And then we're going to need our enriched gold. And let's see, the void resource miner. This requires 2 laser cores, 1 clear laser lens or any color variant, 20 machine bases, and 24 structure block tier 1s. We are going to be starting with a tier 1 miner for each of these, and then we'll upgrade them later. So, alright, let's pull up environmental tech. We needed 2 laser cores, and then we also need the lens as well. But then the controllers require a laser core and lens as well. It was 1 lens, right? Yeah, 2 laser cores and 1 lens. I may have to go get more molten cores, because I've only got 4 of them, and there's no way to make them. So I just have to go kill a bunch of blazes for that. But anyways, the first thing I want is the void resource miner. This right here. So clear lens. Let's go ahead and get. We'll go ahead and get 2 of those, because I am gonna have to make use one as a lens here soon. And then the clear lenses. Let's go ahead and get 2 of those. One of those is going to be used to make the controller. And then we're going to need laser cores. And we're going to need 3 of these altogether per multi-block. So first up, the beacon. There's that. That's easy. And then we also need the... Well, actually, I need to make more than that on beacons. So let me go ahead and order a bit of glass, so that they can start running. And then we're going to need the touchstones of Midas. This is what requires the enriched gold block and the molten cores and all the gold. Lots and lots of gold for this. So touchstone of Midas, touchstone of Midas, touchstone of Midas. And then we need the teleportation core. Now it does require some rose gold, mana pearls, atomic alloy, and unstable ender pearls. So what we're going to do, mana pearls, let's go ahead and order 30 of those. The rose gold I've got. The atomic alloy, I'm going to have to order it, but I'm going to go ahead and order, let's go with 16 to start with. And then we also need those blocks with the wither stuff, right? The unstable ender pearls. I'm not sure how much wither dust I have. Enough. You can also make that stuff with wither skulls, which of course we have a load of them. And you get 3 at a time, if you're going the B route for resources like we've been doing. So 3 per skull on that. And we're really just waiting on the atomic alloys at this point for those. Now, in addition, we are also going to want to get ourselves... it's pretty much the same thing for the void ore and the void resource miner, but just a heads up. We're going to need 20 machine bases and 24 structure blocks of a tier 1 or above. Alright, so these are actually fairly easy to craft, in truth. Machine bases, do we want to go with basalt, alabaster, or hardened stone? Now, I know hardened stone I don't have very much of. Basalt, I have 286, which would probably get us by. Alabaster, I have 206. So we're going to go with basalt. And it'll actually look pretty nice in our area anyway, so that's what we're going to go with. And once we get this set up, the void resource miner, we're going to have plenty of basalt coming in, so it's not really going to be too difficult to expand on this. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a bit of these iron bars, and we're going to want to get ourselves 20, well, I should have basalt, right? Well then, we are going to go with alabaster. That's fine too. It really doesn't matter. They're both going to look fine in that area. So, anyways, we need 20 of these. This is all super easy to craft at this point. Really, the only thing that we were holding out on was... Really, we could have made these a lot longer ago, I guess. I was mainly waiting on the atomic alloy, which we could have made back when we first got our mechanism stuff, I think. I don't think there's anything else standing in our way. It does take a tier 3. Does it really take tier 3 to make this? Wow, okay. I did not realize that. That's fine. It's not a problem for us, but it's just a little bit more expensive. A little bit more involved to make. Okay, and then we're going to want, what was it, 24 of the structure blocks? It's 24 structure blocks of a tier 1 or higher. Now, these are upgradable, so we can make 24 of them now, and then later on, whenever we want to upgrade this, we can easily do so. We are going to go with alabaster, and we're going to start out with tier 1s, 24 of those. And then we're also going to need the void resource miner controller. Now right here we are going to need the basalt. Well, it says we can actually just change it over. So let me grab this. There we go. That works. That works. I guess we could have made it out of basalt, but alabaster is going to be fine too. It doesn't really matter in truth. So we got our basalt, and we're only going to need 6 of the structure blocks. And then we'll upgrade them again. There's 6 of the tier 2s, and then we need 6 of the tier 3s. Now really we could go ahead and go on to tier 4 and make it all tier 4 if we wanted to, but I'm going to start with a tier 1. Honestly, tier 1 is pretty powerful. And then you couple that with bees that we've got going and stuff like that. I mean, we're going to have tons of this stuff coming in. Oh wait, I'm going to need way more than 6, because I need 3 laser cores per. Go ahead and make 12 more of these. And then I imagine our atomic alloys are done, which they are. So there's 3 teleportation cores. And then we'll get our 3... I didn't make the other beacons, did I? There's 2 more beacons, and we'll go ahead and throw in our touchstones of Midas. So, 1, 2, there we go. There's 3 laser cores. We also have a lens. You do need some kind of a lens. You can color it so it's a little bit more accurate. So for example, like the light blue lens is going to focus on light blue hardened clay. Purple lens is going to focus on obsidian, mycelium, and purple hardened clay, and so on. But the main reason I want to go for the void resource miner first is because that is how you get mica, which is somewhere up here. There is a block of mica. It exists, I promise. Right here. This, mica. This is needed for like the lightning rods, also the solar panels, then the higher tier controllers. We're going to have those. And then in addition, we are also going to need them for nanobots, as well as pretty much all the upgrades require mica, and the modifier cores. Whenever we upgrade those, they're going to require mica to any kind of upgrade. So definitely want to get the void resource miner first, because I want to get nanobots up and going. Okay, so we got our structure blocks, we have our machine bases, we have our laser core, we have our lens, and then really all we need is the assembler, which does require a tier 2 machine casing. That's fine. Eating through some diamonds at the moment. I love it. Okay, we got the ready to assemble achievement. And then all we have to do is just come out and go set this thing up. So this is, if I recall, when you look at the void resource miner, you'll notice it says 7 by 4 by 7. So 4 is the height on that. If I recall, multi-block position below controller, I think the controller is not counted on that. So it's technically a 7 by 5 by 7. I think so. It's one reason I left the ceiling kind of open. How are we doing on sand at the moment? 8,000 sand. Okay. How much storage do I have for that? Oh yeah, we can store up to 16 stacks of double compress, so we are all set. We'll just let that keep running for a while. And those speed upgrades are working perfectly. So, alright, so what we're going to do then is, let's use our... Go ahead and throw this on for just a minute. We're going to come up... You know what I never did? I never actually made the controller. So let's go ahead and make that real quick. Void Resource Miner Controller Tier 1. This guy right here. Okay. So we're just going to put this down right there. That's 5 high. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our assembler. And then all we have to do is just hold right click and it's going to build out our structure for us. There we go. Entry level infinite resources achievement. Okay, it is part of the multi-block. My bad. My bad. Let me go ahead and pull this up. By the way, you'll notice there's a hole right there where the laser's like going down. That is actually a hole that goes all the way down to bedrock. Okay, went ahead and dug these out just because it would make things a little bit quicker. This one wasn't too bad. The one on the other side, actually, I had to go through like a lava lake. Pretty much all the way down, but just dump a bucket of water in there and mine the obsidian. It's pretty much the best way to do it. So the controller's actually going to go one down. Then. Which I went ahead and dug all this out for max level multi-block, and then, you know, we'll steadily upgrade to that or something. And I'm not too worried about coloring the lens right now. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm just looking for things in general. Is what I'm doing. Alright, multi-block assembly complete. Okay, and you can see there's like a little laser that kind of runs down through there. And that's what's going to be mining our resources for us. So then what we need to do is we're going to have to run some power over to this. And luckily I've already ran a conduit line pretty much right over this thing. And let's see, if I was to... The Void Resource Miner. Right now we're on a 4 height. The highest one is a 7 height. Okay. Which isn't really too big of an issue, because I can just expand this up. We're going to go ahead and bring this line down, because it is going to require some power. And that's just going to feed in right there and plug into it. And then we're going to need to get ourselves... I've got the item conduits. Let me also get a chest, because I want to get a full spread on this. Before we start like actually plugging it up into drawers and all of that. So what we're going to do then is we'll set the chest. For right now it's going to set right up here. And we'll just run some item conduits up. Say insert. And this thing does pump out from the controller. And then over here we're going to say extract is always active. And there we go. It's going to start producing resources for us. So first thing we got was netherrack. And then we got some red hardened clay. Now it's not the fastest thing in the world as a tier 1, but like I said, it's fairly easy to upgrade it. We're just going to need a lot more molten cores. Alright, so we need to let this thing run for a little bit. And the next thing I want to take a look at is the Nanobot Beacon. Now this thing is really OP. But I think we have... Well, the only thing I'm worried about is... I don't know if I want to do this episode or next. Diamonds are going to become an issue. We have 215. But diamonds could pretty quickly become an issue if we're not careful. And the Nanobot Beacon stuff, yeah, blocks of diamonds. I mean, it's going to eat through those because we need... That's for the tier 2. And then we need 2 tier 2s to get a tier 3, and then 2 tier 3s to get a tier 4. So it is going to get a little bit expensive. Plus we're going to have to get Dragon's Breath, which we're going to have to get the Dragon Resurrected. Which really isn't a big deal for us at this point, I don't think. Because what we would need is end crystals, which are cheap. Super cheap. Because we have bees producing all this stuff pretty much. So, anyways, I'm going to let this run for a little bit because I'm looking for mica. I'm also going to go kill some blazes to get us some molten cores. Because I would like to get the Void Resource Miner up and going too. Oops, let me pull this thing off. So we have 10,008 or 10.8 thousand sand. Shell, we have 14 of that at the moment. Okay, I'm actually going to shut this off for right now. It's produced plenty of stuff for the time being. So, anyways, I just got back from a little excursion in the Nether, and then I went ahead and crafted up another 24 structure block tier 1s, another 20 alabaster machine bases, a clear lens, a laser core. Now, in addition, to make the void ore miner controller, we're also going to need nether quartz ore, diamond ore, and goethite iron ore. Which I believe most of the stuff we've got in here, right? Actually, I know I've got goethite. One right here. And then diamond ore. Well, you know what? I don't think I actually have any diamond ore. Let's see. Do we want to make a silky jewel? Enriched gold and then wool. Ooh, wool though. I never have a lot of this stuff. I'm going to have to go out and get some. I wouldn't mind making a silky jewel and putting it onto like a pickaxe, because we need to do that for our quest anyways. I did just order more obsidian, because at first I was thinking I was going to need more enriched gold to make this. So there's a stack of enriched gold. String. Yeah, let me go out and get some more wool. Okay, I've got plenty of wool. Almost about 104. Let me go ahead and dump this stuff in, and then I want to go ahead and get a silky... Let me actually throw these little panels out too, because I don't need those anymore. I want a silky jewel. And this is something that we've actually had a quest for this for a very long time, and just now getting around to doing it. So 8 of those, just because we really haven't had that much use for it. And there's our silky jewel, and then I'm just going to make just a basic tool. I'm not too worried about what it is. Let's go with... By the way, we should have a quest completed, right? Tinkering. And the silky jewel, that's done. We get an emerald and 10 gold for that. So might as well go ahead and turn that in. And realistically, we could go ahead and knock out this osmiridium knife blade. Okay, slimy crystal, or slimy pickaxe head, there we go. That is done. And then over here, this is just about cooked up. There we go, and that should complete this quest. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and actually just dump that into there, because I don't really want that. And they're going to give us an osmiridium sword blade, and then either 8 universal fluid cells, a basic portable tank, or an iron drum. We're going to take the iron drum. And then this osmiridium sword blade, we're going to throw it in there. Okay, so let's make ourselves a pickaxe. That. And there's a slimy pickaxe with 945 durability. That's fine. And then we're going to give it the silky jewel. And there we go. Now this thing has silk touch. And its mining speed is not very good at all. Which is perfectly fine. I'm not too worried about that. I just want something that I can break a diamond block and a quartz block. Oh, you know what? Its mining level's not high enough. Whoops. Well, let's actually... That's fine. I'll make a sharpening kit. It's not really a big deal. Well, actually, you know what? I have that cobalt that's done. I'm just going to upgrade the mining level. Should have just done that from the first point, or from the start. I was just like, I'm only going to mine like 2 things with this, so. Okay, now we're all set. Let's go out and get ourselves some nether quartz and diamond. Okay, I got the ores that we needed. So, goethite, iron, diamond, and nether quartz. And then we can get our void ore miner. Okay, now we are all set to go plug this thing up, and this is pretty much, once again, it's pretty much identical to this one. So what we're going to do, we're just going to come over, and I guess I'm going to bring it, just bring this down by like 2. We'll stick the void ore miner right there, and then we'll build this thing out with the assembler. These do get slightly, of course they get slightly larger whenever we go to upgrade them, but... Entry level infinite ores. There we go. Okay, so then I just have to plug up the power to this. Which this episode we're mainly going to be setting up the multi-blocks and getting our spreads laid out. So we can see like what all we have coming out of these things and stuff. Next episode I'll do some of it off camera and I'll do some of it on camera. And we'll be dealing with handling all this stuff. Which it's going to be pretty straightforward. Just a basic ore processing system. is what we're going to be doing. Alright, so we're going to run that up, and we're going to sit down a chest to get our spread. So we can see everything that's coming out of this and extract. Once again, you can dye those lenses if you want to aim for specific metals. I'm usually just like a let's get everything person, but if you're like, I don't know, this pack is very much a just get everything type pack. But if it was like a diamond heavy pack or something like that, it would be a little bit more important, I think. Oh, so, okay, so you can see we're getting stone, granite, diorite, andesite, cobblestone, moss stone, endstone, dirt, podzol, sand, red sand, gravel, clay, netherrack, soul sand, sponge, grass blocks, mycelium, obsidian. Then we've got all the different types of hardened clay, which this is something that I actually wanted because the brown hardened clay, I need that for the roof in this room. And then we've got alabaster, basalt, hardened stone, and mica. So right now we're waiting to get up to 8 pieces of mica. So for the last little project that we want to do this episode. Then over here you can see we've got black quartz, iridium, and zinc coming in now. Which, once these are upgraded, I mean, it's like an ore per second, or maybe even faster than that. For like the tier 4s. They do use a bit of power, but they're extremely powerful. They are extremely powerful. We will eventually get them up to that point. We don't really need it. Honestly, bees would be perfectly fine in this pack for most things, I think. But anyways, let's take a quick look over here. I'm going to craft a few of these things off camera. The next thing that we're going to be working on is the nanobots. I'd like to get at least a nanobot, probably just a tier 1 this episode. I don't really need the tier 2, 3, and 4 until the mica kind of builds up. The tier 1 would give us 4 modifier cores, which is fine. There's actually technically I guess 3 major modifiers that I want on us right now. So I'm going to go ahead and craft out the structure block, tier 1s, and the machine bases. And I'll probably go ahead and just craft out the standard modifier cores, and then we'll get into upgrading these here in a second. So it's stone, clear glass, and iron for modifier cores. Super cheap. But the 3 that I want to get is, well, I guess we'll go for 4. Yeah, we'll go for 4 for right now. I want to get flight, which is super cheap. We need 4 mica and a modifier core, and then 4 of these launchers, which are very, very cheap. They do require a little bit more mica, so I'm going to need a little bit more of that. Yeah, I'm going to need a bunch of mica. I may just go for like 2. We'll see. We'll let it build up and see how it goes. I also wouldn't mind getting night vision. This is a very useful modifier to have because night vision, of course, is awesome. And then also I wouldn't mind having regen, and then saturation because it's awesome. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these modifier stuff crafted up. My ideal ones that I want to make sure, if I only get 2 this episode, it's going to be flight and it's going to be saturation, because those 2 are the best. Hands down the best. And then regen and night vision next up. And then we'll look at like haste and strength and regen 2 and stuff like that afterwards. So anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, there's one other thing that we're going to need for the Nanobot Beacon, or the controller, and that is Dragon's Breath. So we're going to get that real quick. And what we're going to need is, we're going to need to get ourselves some bottles. So there's 63 bottles. And then in addition, I'm going to want a crystal, end crystal. This right here. I'm going to want 4 of these. So let's go ahead and just craft this up. Super easy at this point. And then I'm going to want my bow. And let me go ahead and repair our arrows as well. Super cheap. Super, super cheap. Because we are going to go kill the Ender Dragon. We're going to go resurrect and kill him. So let me fly over here to the stronghold. And I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our end crystals. And this is actually a vanilla mechanic. If you're not familiar with vanilla, I think this was added in 1.10. You could do that, and then we're going to get this cool effect. And you'll notice that all the beacon things are respawning. Which we can't actually kill those yet, can we? We have to wait just a second. It's going to resurrect the Ender Dragon. And then, of course, we have to go through and destroy all these again. Now I just have to get these that are over here. Let me Go ahead and open these up real quick. And then we just have to kill this guy. Which he's fairly easy at this point. This bow makes short work of him, I'd say. This bow that we made for the Abyssalcraft stuff. And it's actually kind of sad that Draconic Evolution resurrection method isn't a thing anymore, because at least... Oh, you know, I almost forgot about... We're going to need the Dragon's Breath. So whenever he lands and does this whole thing, we have to go bottle up his breath. And, yeah, there we go. Some of this is probably going to be Ender Air from Britannia. That's fine as well. Oh yeah, he can only be melee in this phase, can he? I'll just wait. I'll just wait patiently over here until you finish doing your thing. You can melee him, because I've meleeed him before, but there we go. Okay, he's done. There we go. And let's go grab our heart. Oh, can I not pick this up right now? Anyways, we got 14 Dragon's Breath. That should be plenty to go even to like Nanobot or Nano Beacon tier 4. It should be fine. Okay, there's the Dragon's Heart. And we'll take all this XP. He doesn't drop Draconium, does he? I'm guessing no. Unless he dropped it through to here. No? Might be at spawn. I don't know. He may not drop it anymore. I can't remember, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, well anyways, we got ourselves our very first Dragon Heart, which we'll use once we get into Draconic Evolution. It's a whole lot easier to resurrect the dragon at this point, and he doesn't get harder each time you kill him either. So he stays pretty standard each time. So, alright, well we got plenty of Dragon's Breath, and then we can get our Nanobot controller. There we go. And we've got everything we need to make it. I'm just kind of waiting on a little bit more mica to build up. We're fairly close to being able to get, like, well, we've got 8. So technically we could get, like, flight, I think, right now. But I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to go clear out a little spot. Well, actually, you know what? No. I know where we're going to put this. We don't need to clear any spot for this. I was originally thinking of a couple different places that I wanted to put this, but I think I know where I want to put it, and that is up here. So we're going to finally start using this building and kind of cleaning up this building now. I know you guys have probably been like, what's that building for? Well, we're finally about to use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just build out a little area here. And this is going to be, of course, just a temporary floor. I think I'm going to put it on top of the floor. So let me grab my building wand and let me get a little bit of this cobble. And of course this is going to change, but not yet. Because I want to get the Nanobot controller set up. And then of course it's kind of like a round shape that these multi-blocks end up being. So then we'll kind of build out the floor around, once we get the tier 4, kind of build it out around the actual structure. Okay, and this is going to be, it's fairly large. Whoops, not Void Miner. I want the Nanobot Beacon. The tier 4 is an 11 by 6 by 11. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and build out based on where the tier 4, the way the tier 4 is going to be laid out. So it's a 12 by 14 is the size. So it's not going to be perfectly centered, which is fine. So we're actually going to build it like right in here. And it is, how high? It's 6 tall. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll put the controller down right up here at the top. And it is going to kind of stick into this room, and that's kind of purposeful. Which I guess, technically, if I was to build it into the floor, then it could just take up this one room. So yeah, let's do that. Originally I had an idea because I was planning on it being a little bit higher than it was, but it's right on the verge, so maybe we'll just use this one room for it. And for right now, it's not going to take up all that space. We'll go ahead and hold, right-click with our assembler, and there we go. Multi-block assembly complete. And let's go ahead and just kind of light this up a little bit. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. It's fairly small, but it'll get larger. And let's go ahead and pull up, like, this modifier core. And let's pop over here. Go ahead and move this stuff around. And right now we've got 8 mica. That's great. That means we can get either flight or saturation. I think we're going to go for... let's go for flight first. So this right here, the flight modifier, we're going to need 4 of these launchers, which take additional mica. So let's just... this one right here. 2, 3, 4. And then... go ahead and just throw that mica in there. There's 4 launchers, and then we'll get our flight modifier. Nanobot Assisted Flight Achievement. And this is basically just going to take the place of, you know, those 4 modifiers. The one that I just pulled up, one of them that was on the nanobots. It's going to take the place of those. Now, in addition, we are going to need to send power over to this. And so what we're going to do is we are going to go into a little bit of mechanism. Let me go ahead and, well, I've got 4 atomic alloys left. I'm going to need more of those, though. I want to make a quantum entangleporter. So teleportation core, I'm going to need another one of those eyes. Because we're going to need to make 2 quantum entangleporters, of course, to move the power. Because we need one to receive the power and one to send the power. So teleportation cores, there's 1 and 2. And then we're also going to need atomic alloy and ultimate control circuits, which take atomic alloy, reinforced alloy, enriched alloy, and then the basic control circuits, which I should have all of the basic control circuits that we're going to need already. Yeah, because we're going to need 4 of them. So let me go ahead and order a bit of this stuff real quick. And I'll be back once I get this crafted. It's all straightforward stuff that we've already covered. I just need to get 2 of these crafted up real quick. Okay, we're only 1 mica short right now from being able to make our other modifier. And then once this thing runs for a little bit, like while I'm asleep or offline, that kind of stuff, that mica is going to build up. So, but like I said, next episode we'll deal with the stuff that we're getting from the spread, the ores and the resources. And then we're probably also next episode, because it's fairly quick, I'm going to prep a couple things. We're probably going to go ahead and set up our cobblestone generator so we can start getting octuple compressed. Because as soon as we get these multi-blocks in and the ore processing system, we're going to be turning our attention fully towards the ATM stars, which we're already, give or take, once we get the cobblestone set up, we'll be about halfway through the ATM star. I mean, for the most part. So it's really not that bad. I mean, we could have started working on this a while back, at least for some parts of it. Anyways, let's go ahead, and I want the quantum entangleporters. These guys right here. I just want 2 of these. And then what we're going to do, let's pop down here to the energy area. And put that right there for right now. I've got this slightly upgraded. We have 25 turbines, but I need to make a few more of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to set our quantum entangleporter just right here. It's fine. Now, that item connection that's happening over here, I'm going to go ahead and break that off because I don't want this to connect. And then the quantum entangleporter, the side config. Now, this is something I totally derped on the last episode when we were setting up that the power system. I promise it's not my first time through Mechanism. I don't know what was going on. But right here, we need to set it to like gases and do the config for the sides for gases and all that. But I was totally derping. So anyways, we're going to be looking at energy in particular. And for this one, I'm going to say input on all sides, energy. Okay. And that's pretty much, well, charity power. Now, we're going to set this, I'll set this one to private. It doesn't really matter. I think I'm the only person right now playing on a server at present. So I don't think it really matters. We're going to say main power line, and we'll say okay. There we go. And so that's main power line, and it's connected up. And then all we have to do is we'll just pop upstairs right up to here, and we're going to set the quantum entangleporter. I think it can actually just set right here, I'd say. and private line, main power line, set, it's connected. Then we're going to say side config, energy, and we'll say just all these are output, and auto eject is on. Okay, so this has power in it now. Then we just have to finish the multi-block because we did break off one of the modifiers that were in it. So put that right there. And then we can fly. Creative mode flight without our jetpack anymore, which is awesome. That means I can actually wear armor in that spot. Now what's funny is the nanobots are so cheap in this pack. While if you look at like the angel ring, this thing takes a bit more work. I mean, it takes the gravitation engines, which take Tesla coils and HV transformers, and it's not, I mean, 60k coolant, advanced heat exchangers, iridium reinforced plates, superconductors. That's a bit more expensive, I think, than just getting into nanobots. And realistically, we could have gotten to nanobots a lot sooner than we did. We really, really could. I just kind of focused down a lot of the magic stuff that we were working on first. Okay, now I'm still waiting on one more piece of mica. So I will be back in a bit once we finally get that piece of mica. Sometimes mica can be kind of a pain and it can take a while. So, but yeah, we can fly now, which is awesome. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, and actually this angelic feather, we can dump this in the system. We no longer need that either. We don't need the jetpack or the angelic feather ever again because this flight modifier does remove our need for that. And there's no limit to how far away you can be. Like I can go to the nether, we'll still have all of this. We can go to any dimension, we'll still have all of this from the nanobots. So they're a little bit OP, like as long as they're chunk loaded. If they're not chunk loaded, it's not going to work once you leave this chunk. So, and then we'll go ahead and get our mica, and let's go get, that mica takes a while to build up, by the way. Let's go get our other modifier. And we are going to want to get the saturation. Regen and night vision are also super nice, and we will get those. I mean, that's, if I had to suggest the top 4 that you should aim for, like right out the gate, it would definitely be flight, saturation, regen, night vision, and then I would go with like resistance and regen too. So, because you can get higher levels of this. Like if you just put 2 regen modifiers in there. You can do double saturation, but there's not a whole lot of point in truth because it's pretty OP as is, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just make another modifier core, and we'll just pop up there and switch these out. So, saturation, there we go. And we got the auto-feeding achievement. This is pretty awesome. And we will no longer ever need stuffed eggplant. We'll just go ahead and dump that in the system. We no longer ever need food, and we can fly. It's already OP, and it's still got a lot of OP-ness to go. Because if you get like resistance and like regen too, like you're like always full health and like unkillable pretty much. Now you'll notice like right now I can't fly because this is no longer a multi-block. Throw that down and give it just a second, and we should see, watch my hunger. It's going to take a second to kick in one of these days. Let me break this off. And we'll replace it down. Whoops. Does the saturation modifier not work in this pack? I really hope that's the case. That's awesome. Okay, well it looks like the saturation modifier does not work in this pack, which is kind of sad. Normally what it does is it gives you saturation and you stay full hunger. But it seems like it's not doing anything. I'm going to let it sit there for a while and see if it kicks in and like something comes of it, but I may still need that stuffed eggplant if that's not going to work. I hope regen and everything works. I hope so. I don't have any more mica for anything cool, do I? Nope, I have no mica. Okay. Well, anyways, over here, if you take a look, this is the spread that we have so far. We got our first piece of draconium. I'm actually considering dyeing the lens over here purple, just so that we increase that chance of getting draconium, because I think it's going to be kind of important as we move on. Now this right here, Lawn's Delight, is specific to the Void Miner. That is the only way to get Lawn's Delight. Like, that's it. Doesn't spawn in the world anywhere. But it doesn't have a whole lot of use in this pack. So we can make Lawn's Delight. It's witherproof. Only players can break blocks. And, you know, you can use these to make, like, basically decorative stuff. But there's not, it doesn't seem like there's any use for it in this pack. A lot of packs have, like, special recipes that require it, but this pack there's nothing for it. So, but yeah, by the way, draconium, you have to, you can crush it and everything, but then draconium dust, you have to either run it through the blood altar of a tier 5 to get draconium, or these recipes don't actually work. Or you have to get a redstone furnace or induction smelter for this. So, which redstone furnace pretty much requires the induction smelter, I think, because it needs rich slag. I don't think there's any way really to get that without the induction smelter. And the induction smelter requires awakened draconium, so we're still a ways off from that. A little ways off from it. So we are going to have to get up to a blood altar tier 5 fairly soon, so we can start getting draconium ingots. That's too bad about the saturation modifier. That makes me sad. But anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end this one out here. Next episode, we are going to set up the cobblestone production, because like right now, I mean, we literally have everything in here 100% up to be a star. And a lot of this stuff's not too bad. Honestly, the Gaia Guardian, once we get the nanobots tweaked out with like regen 2, I mean, the Gaia Guardian's going to be a pushover. He's going to be so simple. This, we're going to start working on next episode. This, we could probably pull off an octuple compressed stick, in truth, if we wanted to. This right here isn't all that bad, if I recall correctly. It's not too bad. It's mainly going to be this stuff right in here and this line. And then this line. I mean, really, it's not too bad, even still, because this stuff, with our bees and everything, it's going to be fairly easy. And this stuff will take a little bit of setup, but it's really not that bad. So next episode, we will sort out the rest of, basically once this spread runs, because like we just now got a block of draconium. I don't know if there's anything else that we're missing, but we'll let that stuff build up and kind of see. And then over here, we're going to kind of say, oh, we got a piece of mica. Awesome. Now, some of this stuff I am going to route over to the storage area, because I know like cobblestone, andesite, diorite, granite, smooth stone, endstone, dirt, sand, red sand, I think. I know clay, gravel, netherrack, soul sand. A lot of the stuff has a spot, but then things like this hardened clay and mica, we're going to set up an additional drawer system to store that stuff away. And I'm actually probably just going to put it like on this wall right here. And then over here, we'll kind of set up like a little ore processing system that'll be able to process all this stuff. And most of it's just going to be crusher. We are going to have some things that are like gold and osmium are special. So we're going to have to process those a little bit differently, but it's not really too difficult. So we'll get into that stuff next episode. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Honestly, I've been debating, just a heads up, the arc furnace, there is no way to automatically insert rods in this version. Which I know you can enchant the rods with unbreaking, they'll last a little bit longer, and that's great, but there's no way to fully automate that whole system in 1.10. So kind of what I'm waiting for on the osmium side of things is getting the induction smelter, getting to the awakened draconium and stuff. So we may start working towards that pretty soon as well. So, but we're gonna have to upgrade blood magic to do so, but that's fine. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.